Hey, shalom, shalom. Hey, before I get started, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash. Hey, double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, allergies. It's a quick one. But in the spirit, just wanted to talk about us thinking about, well, really just got finished listening to Elder Apostle Tahar's response to the brother in Philly who had that heavy dream, and hey man, that's a fearful. That dream put a lot of fear in me, man, because it's like you don't know whether you are a member of the elect until, like Elder Apostle Gabar was saying recently, until a crown is on top of your head. That's when you got a crown on your head, when you in that chariot, then you know you part of that elect. But until then, you got to move with fear that one slip up could have your ass erased, But and thinking about that, and before I cut this camera on, and thinking about what I was going to talk about, the word reprobate just kept coming in my head. Reprobate, because on top of that, you got this guy. I don't know his name. He used to be under Al-Azhar, and I guess he's doing VR. He's selling virtual, Zoom tickets to the Passover, and I'm just like, a lot of y'all are really just badass kids, man. You ever have a badass kid, a badass child, or a badass stepchild, or a badass sibling, and it's just like, this nigga can't go more than 5 minutes without getting in trouble, and that's where the word, and that's where the thought came to of being a reprobate. And the majority of Israelites, the majority of those that know they're Israelites, we're not talking about the 2/3. The 2/3 are the 2/3. They're natural born reprobates. They didn't have a chance. Which a lot, like I spoke on recently, the majority of the 2/3, a portion of the 2/3 know they're Israelites right now. But they're reprobates. See, the Lord continuously throws these. He does these things. He shows what he doesn't like, he dislikes, he brings forth to the forefront. And what happens? Jake don't clean their act up. Al-Azhar in his pegging apology, that was barely a week ago. But look where we are. You think that other Israelites are moving in a we gotta get our behavior on point. We gotta act better. We gotta do this better. I'ma lock in. No. Still messing up, still being bozos, still on stupid shit. And that's because why? They are reprobates. It's really as simple as that sounds. That's really all it is. They're reprobates. The word reprobate simply means to be void of judgment. What does it mean to be void of judgment? That's really what this lesson is all about. See, the scriptures tell us there's only two ways. Either you have discernment or you're a reprobate. Either you have the Spirit of the Lord and you have understanding of judgment. Scriptures tell us in Proverbs, the 11th chapter, that a false balance is an abomination unto the Lord. So you have to be able to judge. Isaiah the 11th chapter tells us that he would give us a spirit of quick judgment, quick understanding, a spirit of counsel, a spirit of judgment, a spirit of quick understanding, quick judgment. Meaning you know how to judge things. Meaning you know when to hit the gas, hit the brakes. That's the whole book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. All right. All right. That's why you have Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, which tells us what? There's a time and a place for everything. There's a time to embrace. There's a time to refrain from embrace. There's a time for love, a time for hate, a time for war, a time for peace. That means you got to be able to discern and judge situations and scenarios to know what time you're in. But the majority of so-called self-proclaimed Israelites are reprobates. See, Amos, the 3rd chapter, tells us that the Lord sheweth forth, he do declare his secrets unto his servants. All right, Amos 3:3, roughly paraphrasing. But the Lord gives his servants the secrets. Which one of those secrets is actually judgment. Judging a situation, judging a scenario. Scriptures tell us, sorry, like I said, I'm a little under the weather. Scriptures tell us in Revelation, the 5th chapter, that the Lord is raising up a nation of kings and priests. Right? A nation of kings and priests. What do kings and priests do? They judge situations. They judge a matter. They say whether something's good or bad, whether something's acceptable or unacceptable. That's being a judge. So the opposite of that is being void of judgment, a reprobate. Something tells you to go right, you go left. You should have turned the heat up, but you turned it down. You know? You should have shut up, but you talked. You should have talked, but you shut up. You're just void of judging a situation and scenario. That's what we're witnessing. You know, you got this squarehead guy, Deacon ASAP, I think that's his name. Which, he's a clown, man. He's a fucking clown. All right? Because you know why he's a clown? Because he's a reprobate. And this Alazar Sakari situation is showing how a lot of men aren't meant to be judges. They aren't. That's why they got to be destroyed. Whose mouths must be stopped. You understand? That's what that means. You giving people bad judgments. Y'all keep saying this bullshit that, hey, as long as it's between a man and his wife, that's none of our business. But it's no longer between a man and his wife. The Lord opened it up. The Lord exposed that bullshit. And this is how y'all are judging it. How the hell is this the spotlight on this fucking weirdo, but somehow, some way, GMS is the wrong ones. GMS is the ones that's getting rebuked. Y'all give patience and mercy unto this fucking faggot, but then when it comes to us, it's basically, oh no, throw the whole book, throw all the books at our ass. Because you're void of judgment. You're reprobates. You have no business speaking on anything. None. And we're seeing that. See? All you sincere men and women out here that are listening, we've been saying this for years, man. You better leave these camps alone, man. But really, honestly, I'm at a point where I get the mercy. See, this is where people be like, oh, y'all don't have no mercy. Mercy's always being extended. That's why we always say we believe there's sincere men amongst these other schools. That's the mercy. But the majority of these camps, the fatness of the camp, and y'all are all birds of a feather flock together, man. That's why y'all are justifying it. Because you know that if you said anything differently, You would be condemned in the spirit because you're just as guilty of the bullshit that these characters are doing, if not worse. Of course, ISUPK can't say anything about Al-Azhar. They teach that it's okay to have anal sex with your wife. Of course they can't say anything, because then they could be scrutinized for their beliefs. So you have to go along with that, because why? What's the difference? Scriptures say that thou shalt not, sodomy is spoken against, but y'all don't care because you're void of judgment. That's not, of course the ISUPK is supposed to say that. Of course, what's the other group? IUIC is supposed to say that. They're supposed to sign with this weirdo because they're a camp of weirdos themselves. I like this freaky shit. I like reading this. You at a fucking convention. You at a gathering with other men, women at this place, and you decide to blast one of your members. Rod put his dick pic all over the screen for everybody to look at, and laughing and chuckling, and don't see nothing wrong with it. You're all a bunch of freaky weirdos, if you ask me. Because the Spirit of the Lord is not dealing with you. It is simple. The Spirit of the Lord don't partly deal with you. The Spirit of the Lord don't kind of deal with you. It's either he's with you or he's against you. So here it is, every day we witness these fucking assholes speak ill against Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But then when these things come up, we act surprised. No, they're reprobates. This is what this is all showing. Don't you get it? Don't you get? That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing through the Spirit. Taking a step back, not being emotionally bothered by this, and really looking at what everybody's doing is like, wow, I see y'all. I see y'all for the filth that you are. And you want us to fast with you? You want us to pray with you and all that? Man, fuck off. Fuck y'all niggas, man. These aren't sincere men and women. They don't come in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what they don't get. Then you got this weirdo Ringo talking about what he's witnessed in Israel. You don't even, that's what's wrong with y'all. You came into this thinking that this was some fucking college campus and everybody was just going to be friends and part of the same alma mater and shit, man. No. Did you miss the scriptures where it said this would be a straight gate? Did you miss the scriptures where it said that this was honey in my mouth with bitter in my belly? Did you miss those scriptures? Of course, because you're a reprobate. Israel is going to either, if you cannot tell, like Elder Ariala said a week or so ago, if you believe that Al-Azhar's apology was sincere, you're a low level, you're a low frequency Israelite. You're a low level. Because you don't understand judgment. You're not meant to judge a goddamn thing. That's what we're learning. That's the shit that we're witnessing. You know, because like I said, all of this shit is no surprise to me. And I'm pretty sure the sincere men and women that have been paying attention, it's of no surprise. But at the same time, what do we got to do? We have to witness this for a testimony. We have to witness this to see that this is our people. This is how our people get down. So everybody loves to talk about TD Jakes. Everybody loves to talk about, see, that's why we don't even, matter of fact, nobody loves it. Nobody talking about these characters no more. Nobody's talking about TD Jakes and Creflo Dollar and all these characters no more. Because the new big demons on the block is going to be Nate. It's going to be Johanna. All these characters. And that's just some of the filthiness that we're talking. We're just talking about sexual deviant filth. But see how they're all trying to put that on us. IUIC, a member of IUIC killed a tranny. You understand? This is what the hell is going on in these camps. But here's the situation. Al-Azhar, that ain't got shit to do with us. But somehow, some way, you found a way to blame Great Millstone. Ain't that crazy? And what I believe is that sincere elect of this. You see, I'm gonna share a story. And I'm gonna close up here in a second. When I woke up to this truth, it was no different today than it was when I woke up to this truth. In 2010, 2011, I didn't know. I was an Israelite. Like I decided in 2010. So I had been hearing about Hebrew Israelites in 2009. That's the first time I ever heard anything about a Hebrew Israelite. It was in 2009. So I'm wrestling between that in my head that like, this is the way. You know what I mean? So come 2010, that was when I was like, nah, man, I'm an Israelite. You know, I stopped, Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving, all that shit. In 2010, that was the last year I did any of that bullshit. You know, last time I purposely ate pork, 2010, right? But that's not what this is about. What I'm saying is even then, I didn't know about Great Millstone. I had no clue. And this is not the same landscape that we're in today. Today, it's what am I trying to say? You know, it's a 100. It's 100 Hebrew Israelite camps. Thousands of people, if not more, on the internet doing this work. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. If there's a platform, the truth is being pushed on. In 2008, 2009, 2010, this thing was still very underground. It wasn't like what it is. So, nigga, long story short, I'm listening to this character, an irrelevant guy today, about the truth from. So I had no clue about GMS. But the guy I was listening to, here's the point. The guy I was listening to, he was a GMS scoffer. Right? He was a scoffer like we see today. But at the time, I didn't know what the hell a scoffer was. I didn't know what the hell I didn't know what a Great Millstone was. I didn't know I didn't know none of that. There was no Sakari. There was no, there was barely an IUIC. Okay? This is the foundation of what you see today is what I'm speaking to. But what did I do? What I'm speaking to is I'm listening to this asshole talk, and he's just talking shit. I don't know, but I don't even know who he's talking about. I don't even know what a scoffer is at this point. I don't know what a camp is. I don't know any of this. I'm just listening. But something in me, and we want to know the kicker. What made me? How you want to know how? I'm gonna close up here. How I found out about Great Millstone. The very story that Captain Tazariak was sharing about when years ago. This is over 10 years ago at this point, obviously, when they walked by the camp, and there was a big kind of like it was a fight between ISUPK and GMS. Not like a physical fight, but it was a back and forth arguing, right? The guy I'm listening to, he's talking about it. Like how everybody do now. He's talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? You know what I mean? I'm like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So then I'm like, man, let me go. I went looking. And then that's when I found out about a GMS and an ISUPK. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. So this is what I'm saying. This is evolving. It's developing. So then, and I'm going to close up here because I'm here where I'm at. I'm listening. So the guy I'm listening to who is irrelevant today, he tells me, nah, you should go listen to ISUPK. Right? And I'm like, okay, cool, because I'm new. I'm green. You know what I'm saying? I'm green. I'm months in, let alone, I'm nowhere near a year at this point. I'm days. You know, I'm months more likely, you know, more to it. 10 months, 5 months, 15 months, whatever this point is. So I go and listen to ISUPK. I listen to he recommended I'm going to listen. I go and listen to the radio station. And that was the first time I ever heard them talk about, they were like, you know, Hey, you can have anal sex. Somebody called in and asked that nasty question, and they were like, yeah, you could do that. And I was like, I don't know about that. That just didn't sit right on my spirit. And then I kept looking, kept digging, and then that's when I found Great Millstone. But nevertheless, if I never would have, if that scoffer didn't recommend me to ISUPK and me listen to this bullshit and filth and be like, nah, man, I don't know about this. Me in my youthfulness, I started practicing the Israelite at 2010. And even then I knew, like, nah, I ain't going for this. This is some crazy, wild shit right here. And you people can't discern that because you're reprobates. But the sincere men that's out there, sincere women, you're going to hear these talking points. You're going to see this bullshit, and it's going to have your spidey senses tingling. And that's the spirit telling you, nah, you better question this. You better research this. You better go and look a little bit more. And that's only going to happen to the elect. So none of this is going to stop the elect. But the Lord does all of this to deceive those reprobates to keep them out of the way. So with that, I want to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak Kodash, Shalom.